Howdy, fuckers, and welcome back to this special episode of the Western Grunge Artist Spotlight. This month's Artist Spotlight is brought to you by Bad Decisions as always, Coors Brewing Company, having one more shot at goodbye, and a broken stoner's fantasy. I'm here today with Larissa Boyd. Miss Larissa, how are we doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited. Kind of nervous.
So, oh, don't be. Trust me, it's just same shit, different toilet every single day.
Love it.
But so I got in contact with you from my buddy Gabe, who actually y'all played a concert with, or you had him play a show with you. So
hmm
tell me a little bit about that. How'd that go?
Well, it went great. It was actually like thrown, not the show, but like, I'm okay. You're gonna have to bear with me. I'm the worst at explaining things. My mind
You're
is like
good.
all over the place, and it's been a crazy day. So bear with me. So I had that show scheduled since like before May, and between scheduling the show and the show happening, I had a few people in the band exit the band, and so Gabe so kindly was like, "Yeah, I'm open. I'm down to do it," and he did great. Like we practiced like 3 or 4 times within a 2 week time span because it was like 2 weeks before, and I was like, please, I can't back out of this show, and it was in my hometown, so I was like, we really need to practice, and like I can't mess this up because everybody I know is gonna be there, so like please just help me out. And he did, and it went great. And then we also had a drummer have to fill in named Brennan, and he did great as well. So shout out to both of them. Thank you very much. I could not have done it without y'all, and I really, really, really appreciate them for stepping up and practicing and putting up with my craziness because I know I was like stressed out and I was like all over the place. But we got through it and it was great. And yeah, I just really appreciate them.
Perfect. Love it. So what kind of got you into music? What are like your musical influences? When did you start? How did you start? Why did you start? All that.
Yeah, so every time somebody asks me this, I tell them that it was an accident because I've always like loved to sing and I've always been involved with anything musical at my school. And I took piano lessons as a kid, but I didn't like piano lessons because I didn't like being taught how to do something. I just wanted to figure it out by myself. So I quit piano lessons, and then in 8th grade, I got a ukulele, and then I realized, oh, you can play chords. So then I started playing chords on the piano, and then I kind of got decent at both of those. And by my sophomore year of high school, I got a guitar. But I think before I got a guitar, I started writing music, but I didn't tell anybody about it. And it was just kind of like a secret thing that I did to process the emotions a 14-year-old girl was going through in high school. Um, and then I got my guitar, and soon after I got my guitar, I met this girl named Vanessa who actually worked at like for the school district where I went to school, and she was like, "Hey, I know you like play instruments." Oh, to preface, we did like a district wide musical, and her kids were in the musical, so that's how we like met. Our paths crossed. Anyways, um, so she's like, I know you play music and like you can sing really well. Is there like any chance you might want to do that like outside of school? And I was just like, eh, maybe. Like I've never really thought about that. It's kind of just like for fun that I do at school, and I'm just like in my spare time. And she's like, well, if you ever like want to get into it, like give me a call and I can help you, because she used to tour with Neil McCoy and like did the whole Nashville thing and recorded her own stuff like way back when. And so then like a year later, all that kind of like everything kind of like fell into place. And then one day, so I'd been working with her, and one day she called me, and I'd only been playing guitar. I guess it wasn't a year later because I'd only been playing guitar for like 6 months when this happened. Um, it was like it was like summer after my sophomore year of high school. It's like June. She called me and she's like, "Hey, I was just at this Mexican restaurant and they need a musician to play every week. Like, would you be interested in doing that?" And I was like, maybe. Like, I don't know. I've never really done something as Larissa and not playing a character on stage. I don't know if I'm like ready to do that. She's like, "Well, they need you here in like an hour if you want to do it." And I was like, "Okay." So then I went and then I played there every Thursday for the next year. And then I started playing other shows, and then somewhere in the middle of that, they people found out that I by people I mean like my family found out that I wrote music, and then I recorded that music, and now here we are. So, like I said, it was just an accident. People just,
That's
I guess, liked
amazing.
what I had to say.
That's awesome. So you just started writing music just kind of for fun, or just kind of put like your thoughts into paper? Didn't really have like any influences towards it?
Yeah, so okay, don't hate me, but I definitely I definitely had influences, and I think that in like where I was at the time, like mentally, that like music was the only thing that like I knew to like kind of get out everything, and so and I also was listening to a lot of Taylor Swift, because
T Swizzle.
and I still do. This is my Halloween costume. If you can see in the background, it's the "You Belong with Me" music video of Taylor Swift. Anyways,
Classic.
I yeah, I've always been a fan of her, and you know, I guess I just wanted to try my hand at writing, and it just kind of worked out.
Hey, that's awesome. I mean, old school T Swift was country Taylor Swift. I vibed so hard with in my childhood. I'll admit it. First time here on the pod, so don't burn me. But
I got that out of you. Got it.
you did. I remember. I I don't remember kind of what month it was, but I was scrolling through podcasts and I came across 95.9 The Ranch with Shane Hollinger, and that was my radio station that I grew up listening to. And I think they had just done Palmer Anthony. It was either right before yours or right after, and
Mhm.
that's one of my real close buddies. And so I saw that, and then I was like, "Oh, Larissa's right here after." I was like, "Damn!" I was like, "I know both these people." So I listened to both. So how was that getting, like, being able to talk with Shane? And did they, assuming they probably reached out to you, like, how did that all go?
Yeah, so that was super cool. That just kind of happened through people that I knew kind of reaching out for me, and then it just, yeah, my dad was like, "Hey, this is what you're gonna do on this day," and I showed up. But it was super cool. I will say that I remember, oh, it haunts me. Um, it was just like the worst vocal day I've ever had, like ever in my entire life, and I was like, "Oh God, this is gonna be so." Like I knew going into it, it was not gonna be good, and then it was like I said, the worst thing I've ever done on the radio ever, and I didn't even like. I'm so sorry, Shane, but I did not go back and listen to the interview because I did not want to hear what I sounded like. Anyways, so I am aware of that. However, the rest of it was great. I love sitting down and getting to talk with him. It was super cool to do an interview like that, like in studio. So I really did enjoy it, and I appreciated him for having me on.
Yeah, you sounded great. I would have never guessed
Oh,
anything was
thanks.
wrong that day.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, that was just super cool to see, and then obviously hear your music and everything on the ranch, which I'm sure is like a holy shit, I'm on the radio.
Yeah, it never like I don't ever like believe it. I don't ever really process things, and I don't like you can tell me so you literally could be like, "Hey, you're number 1 on the Billboard charts." And I'd be like, "Oh, that's cool." And I would like it doesn't occur to me how like, crazy that is. And it's not that like I'm not grateful for it. It's just that it like I cannot comprehend like I just can't comprehend it. So I just can't be like, "Oh my gosh," about it. But on the inside I am, but it's I don't know how to explain it. It's so weird to me. It's like such a weird thing that I can't even like put it into words. And I like if you would have told me 5 years ago that I would have songs on the radio, like I just wouldn't believe you. Like it's so wild and I just never would have imagined that this is where my life was going to take me.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like I said, it's just. I feel like it's so awesome, and just like surreal to
Yeah.
be able to hear your voice, hear yourself, and everything that like you started be
Yeah.
broadcasted, to all over the U.S.
Yeah.
But
It's super cool.
we touched on it a little bit before the episode. So you and Kat Hasty, we had her on a couple months ago. How
Yeah.
did how did y'all meet, or become mutuals and everything?
So that's actually another like wild story. Um or I think it's wild. But so I guess I think it was before started playing music. Um or before I had music out. Maybe I was playing music, but I don't think I had music out yet. Um I found her on TikTok as did most of us and I just loved her stuff and like I immediately followed her on all like social media platforms and I was just a huge fan of her and then one day she followed me on Instagram just like randomly out of the blue and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like that was the first person that was like relevant, like a big like relatively like famous person that had ever like noticed me, I guess you could say. And so I was content with that. I was like, hey, that's cool, I can brag about that. um and then like maybe a month or two, I don't know how. Hmm, yeah, like a month or two later, I was sitting in my calculus class and I get this DM and it's from Kat and like all I could because we couldn't be on our phones in class, but like I just had a cat beside me. All I could see was like, "Hey, would you be willing to write with me sometime?" And I did not like I didn't focus the rest of class. I was just like freaking out because I wanted to see what the rest of the message said. And then yeah, and then a few months later, we finally found a time to sit down and write together, and that was super cool. And then we've just like been, you know, friends in the music industry ever since then. I we get to see each other like once or twice a year at Music Fest and Steamboat and just at other random things that we're both at. But she's great. I love her. She's so the best way to describe her is like she just doesn't like the fact like she doesn't act like she's anything. And that's what I love about her is that she genuinely like she's just a girl that happens to sing and have music out and have a big following. Like you would never know that if you just met her on the street because she doesn't like that's not what she just like makes her personality about. She genuinely like cares about other people and you can like really tell and I that's why I admire her so much. And yeah, she's just a great person and I love her a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I think I saw on your Instagram either like last year or a couple years back, you played up there at Steamboat during Music Fest.
Yes. So I wasn't like on the actual like Steamboat lineup, but there's a thing, like it's not like a separate, I guess it is a separate thing, but it's not like affiliated with this music fest. Um like the Rebecca Creek Distillery puts on a show. They're actually not doing it this year, which is sad. But the last 2 years they've put on a show for just smaller, like up and coming artists, and it's on the mountain. It's what the first year was like at one of the bars, like connected to the Steamboat Grand, which is like the main hotel that everything kind of like happens out of for the music fest. Um, and then this year, or this past year, I guess it's still the same year. This past January, it was at the Sheraton, but the Sheraton's still like on the mountain. I don't know if you've been there, so I don't know if you can like picture. So basically, it's like here's the steep here. I don't know if people are gonna see this video.
Yeah, this is on video. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Um, yeah. So, anyways, there's like here's the Grand, and then here's the Sheraton, and it's like this is like a little bit higher, and this is like a little bit lower, and it's not far. My point is that they're not far from each other, and they're like right in the middle of the festival because the festival's like kind of spread out. You just you just got to look at the map and see it to understand. Anyways, point is that that's where we were, and that honestly those past 2 years in Steamboat have been probably the like best experiences that I've ever had in the music industry, or like just playing like like as a show in general that I've been able to play at, because I've met the most amazing people. And it's so crazy, the first year that I was there, um, I met these three guys named AJ Hoffman, Cody Rose, and Kyle Villarreal, and they have become like my music industry brothers, family, like all of the above. I love them so much. But AJ actually has a studio here in College. Oh, that was my point. They all live in College. Well, Kyle doesn't live in College Station, but he lives like not far, and he's normally in town. But Cody and AJ, they both live in College Station, and AJ has a studio here, and that's not kind of, that is where I am recording all the new music that I have coming out. And Cody's been a tour manager for different people, and then Kyle plays guitar with mainly the Teague brothers, but kind of fills in elsewhere. And AJ plays fiddle for the Teague brothers, but they all can play whatever instruments and do whatever they want to do musically because they're just super talented and great people. And yeah, I love them.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember the couple years ago there at an open mic down there around College Station, Bryan. AJ was playing fiddle like throughout the
Oh yeah.
night. Just walk up and like, hey, I'm gonna play this song. He's like, all right, just go ahead and start playing your chords, and I'll pick up. And being able to watch, musicians be able to do that is amazing. It's
Yeah.
just have the ear for music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
So he's insane. They all are. Like they're just so talented. Like they make me feel so like what's the word? I guess naive when it comes to music because they're also a lot older, not like a lot, but quite a bit older than me. Um Not that they're old, no offense, but they are older than me, and they've been around the block a few times, so they know what's up. They know what they're doing, and they're just super good at what they do.
for sure, who assuming you probably caught a couple shows up there at Steamboat whenever you weren't playing, who were some of your favorite shows that you went and saw, and some of the people that you met out
Yes.
there?
So oh, I have to think my brain. So obviously, I went and saw Kat when she was playing. Then I this past year I saw Treaty Oak. I think Treaty Oak. I Clayton Mullen. Who else? My brain, I cannot remember. I know. Oh, Tanner S3. Who else? Honestly, I did not have a lot of time to go watch a ton of people. Um, because I was always like running around crazy. Because when am I not? Um, I'm trying to think who else. I know there was more than just those people. I know. Oh, my first year I saw Tyler Halverson. Um, Caitlin Butts. I think Flatland was. I yes, Flatland. They were there too. That's probably all my brain is gonna allow me to remember. But I'm sure there were more. That's really gonna bother me. But, anyways, I don't want to sit here and take all the time thinking.
So that's awesome. I mean, I've always wanted to go up there
It's so
because it's
cool.
like it seems like it's just so like welcoming with open
Mhm.
arms.
It is.
Like every artist is bouncing everywhere, and like whoever's playing, there's a 90% chance that you're gonna run into them
Yeah, no,
anywhere and everywhere.
100%. It's like I said, that's been the best experiences that I've had since I've started playing music. And I don't know if we're going this year just because they're not doing Rebecca Creek's not hosting their little like showcase thing. Um, so I don't know for sure if we're going, but I want to go back. Like I would go every year if I could because it's so fun and like you're never not doing anything and you're just surrounded by music and great musicians for a week straight. It's the best thing ever.
So, what would be your dream like music festival or like yeah, pretty much music festival. Like you have the Mile Zero Fest down
Mhm.
in Key West, Music Fest there in Steamboat, and all these different music festivals. What is like your dream one to play at?
To play, well, definitely like beyond the actual music fest lineup would be super cool. Um, and then Chili Fest here in College Station. I guess it's not really in College Station, but whatever. Um, I don't really know names of music festivals. That's so bad of me. But honestly, Chili Fest is probably the top of my list because I think it would just be so fun to get to play in front of all my friends, basically. Not that like everybody there is my friend, but you get my point. Um, yeah, Music Fest, Milo Fest would be cool too. LJT would be super cool. Um, yeah, I don't really know names of music festivals, but those are the ones that come to mind. And um, what's the one that's in San Angelo? Wild West Fest?
I believe so.
That would be cool too. So those are just off the top of my head.
Yeah. Um, oh, I had to sit there and get my train back on the rails. What's the favorite venue that one you've played at, and what's your dream venue to play at?
My favorite venue has definitely been Green Hall, just because it's so iconic. Um, my dream venue, the Ryman Auditorium would be so cool. Um, I think honestly, just like an arena or a stadium would be cool. Any of them. I'm trying to think what else. Honestly, Green Hall was like at the top of my bucket list for the longest time. So now that I've done that, I'm just like, I don't know what is like. I haven't thought about its replacement.
Who did you open for Cameron Sackey there, didn't you?
Yes, Cameron Sackey and Carson Jeffrey. Like,
Okay.
so I've actually played twice. But
We just had Rob White, Carson's bass player,
oh,
on a couple weeks ago,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
actually.
yeah,
So yeah, talked a lot about just that group of guys, and then of course A&M
yeah.
and all that. So that was a lot of fun. What are your favorite road trip snacks?
Okay, I love Sour Patch Kids, but not just the basic Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kid Extremes, like the ones that are extra sour, are my fave. I literally, and you can't, like, they don't sell them in every single gas station, so it's like you just got to get lucky and hope that you like go to a gas station that has them. It's kind of like the lottery. And sometimes I'm so picky about these. It's so bad. Sometimes it like if they get humid, the this sounds so stupid, but if they get humid, like the sour powder like kind of melts, so they don't taste sour, which defeats the whole purpose, and it makes me so mad. So that anytime that I can find like a crisp bag of Sour Patch Kids Extreme is a great day because they're few and far between, especially in Texas. So that's
Agreed.
honestly, I don't really get anything else from the gas station because I don't really like gas station food.
Are you a fan of Pringles?
Mm, maybe like the salt and vinegar Pringles.
Oh, okay. That was going to be my next question. Was your favorite uh, Pringles flavor? So
Salt and
what's your
vinegar,
go-to drink?
Dr. Pepper for sure.
There it is. There's the Texas coming out.
Yeah. Hold on, my dog is like being he's being needy. Since everybody can see the camera,
Aw,
it's Angus.
look at the little puppy.
He's a mess, but
All mine are in the living room with the old lady.
he's spoiled. Okay.
So you had mentioned that you and Kat wrote a couple songs together.
Yeah, we. I don't think we completely finished one. I know we had like two, like a chorus and two verses, and we honestly that day for half of the day we just kind of sat there and like rambled about our lives, and but yeah, we got almost a complete song. And I have the voice memo somewhere, but yeah, it was not as productive as you would think, and but it was still productive because we got something out of it. But yeah, we just kind of really talked because that was our first time meeting, and we were just kind of like sharing our songwriting stories and why and how everything in our songs came to be and why we wrote about them and our kind of like failed love lives.
And then you had mentioned that you record music over there around the College Station area. So do you have any new music that's coming up that you're working on or anything?
Yeah, so like I said, AJ, he has a studio, Black Cat Studios, in College Station. Um, so he just released, or not just, I guess it was in August, but so in August we put out the first single of the next like batch of singles that we're doing. Okay, Angus, you need to get down. Um, and then like a couple weeks out, no, maybe not even a couple weeks, like a week after that happened, AJ broke his arm. So, like, not just like a casual, like minuscule break. Like he broke both bones in his arm, through the skin, had to have surgery. It was a whole ordeal, right? So that kind of set us back in the recording, like process, and now we're finally back on track. AJ is finally majority of the way healed. He can play fiddle again and like use both of his hands for the most part. He's just like obviously getting his strength back. But back on track, and we actually decided to change like the order of the next few singles. I was promoting like one song as the next single at my shows, and then like within the last week I've decided that that's not going to be the next single and it's going to be something else, but it's fine. Angus, stop. Now Angus is digging at the ground, but playing with his ball. Um. Anyways, but yeah, we have I think 5 singles like in the works coming out within like over the course of the next like 6 months, hopefully. Now that, because my originally it was going to be like a single in August, a single end of September, beginning of October, and just kind of like have that spacing in between each one, but obviously that didn't happen. So hopefully with things back on track, we can start more regularly putting out stuff. But I'm excited for what's to come because AJ really lets me. I feel like I haven't before recording with AJ. I feel like I really hadn't found my sound that I really wanted, and because like AJ and I are super like so close. I'm over there all the time. I have just started telling people that he's my brother because it's like you would assume otherwise if like because I'm always over there, so it's just easier for me like yeah that's my brother and move on. Anyways, because like we all know each other so well, and like Kyle, like I said, he plays guitar, and he's been playing guitar on a lot of my stuff because we're all so close. We like understand each other's vibe, and we know even without like fully explaining it, like you'd have to do with a random producer. Like they know what I want, and I don't have to like sit there and like pull teeth, like trying to get a certain sound. Like they just know, and it's so great, and it's so like relieving, and it's so like I finally have like this weight lifted off my shoulders because it's like okay, it is possible what I want to sound like, and like somebody knows how to do it and somebody gets it because I've been looking for that for so long. And not that I don't like my other stuff, like I like it, it's great, but it's just not me. And I finally am starting to put out music that I feel like is me. So I'm super excited because it's what I want.
That that's amazing. I mean, it's funny because we touched on it during the cat episode, and it's like you can after you get a knowledge of music and you have the ear for it and listening, you can tell kind of when a band is like a band or
Mm-hmm.
like this song like everybody comes together to make this a project versus it's like hey we're just filling in, you know, get this done and you like build that friendship and relationship with the band itself and put out the music, you can really hear it. And ever since she actually mentioned that and put it into words, I was like, you know what? She's absolutely right. I mean, we have the Red Clay Strays. That's a band.
Mm-hmm.
49 Winchester, like band, Whiskey Myers, and it's just a group of guys that just everybody bounces off each other so much and so well that everybody complements each other.
Yeah, for sure.
So
That's and like Kyle nor AJ and or Cody for that matter, like none of them play in my band per se, but like I said, we're around each other so much, and like always like I mean we write together, like we just do all the musical things together. So it's like they're kind of like my band but not my band.
yeah,
That
it helps a lot with you know what you want to bring to the table and bring to all the recordings.
Yeah, yeah, it does for sure. For sure.
So yeah, really glad and thankful that you came on
Yeah,
today, and
thanks for having me.
happy Halloween, of course,
Yes.
anytime. Uh, Go check out all of Larissa's socials. We will have Instagram, Twitter, you know, all that stuff. We'll have all that linked below. Obviously, there's new music in the works, so be on the lookout for that. We will plug the Apple and Spotify. Larissa, anything you want to add?
I don't think so. My Twitter, we can just ignore the Twitter because I I'm so bad at Twitter. I'm just bad at all social media. I try. I really try, but I'm just not a social media person. But my Twitter really is not. That's more for just me to like look at things, not because I want to be like a Twitter personnel. Like that's just not. Yeah. We can just ignore the Twitter.
Perfect. But with all that being said, make sure to check Larissa out. Go listen to all her music. And like I mentioned, be on the lookout for the new stuff. But with that being said, I think we've had all that we can handle. We hope you're happy now. Good night. She's my